welcome back to my channel. I am so excited because I've been wanting to read the books, but then also I was not in the right mental space, and that is Magnolia Park's The Long Way Home. This is the third book in the series. This one goes back following Magnolia Park's. I'm gonna assume that you guys have read the first book and the second book already, Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates. If you haven't, please go read them before reading this because I don't want to spoil anything. I'm gonna try my best still not to spoil anything from the other books, but obviously to talk about this book a little more freely, I'm gonna have to bring up things that happened in the first book and the second book. Go check out those videos. Those videos are already out. It's annotating with me, and that's exactly what I'm gonna be doing today with this video. I love annotating Jessa Hastings' books. Her writing is so beautiful and so poetic. There are so many one-liners or just funny moments in these books that I really want to be able to go back on. I love these characters. I'm so excited to get back to this. The first book really broke my heart. It was so sad. These books make you so anxious, sad, happy, excited, annoyed. All of the emotions you can think of, these books do it. Oh my god, I'm not ready. I'm ready. I'm so ready, but also I am not ready. Let's get to it. I honestly forgot how funny some of these characters are. That is so foul of her to say. Tell me this is not some of the cutest, most heartbreaking words you've ever heard strung together. He laughs, and for some reason it sounds like I'm ringing the doorbell of the home I grew up in. I cannot. I need to take a moment. Okay, ever since Magnolia Parks, the first book, after finding out what BJ did, I always had a feeling that there was a reason that we didn't know, obviously, for why he did what he did. Because Jessa Hastings wouldn't just write a character that does something like that and not have a way to redeem them, you know? Like, I just had a feeling there was more to the story, and I just found out more to the story. I'm trying not to react in a way that like will give it away how I feel. For you guys who know the reasoning behind what he did, you definitely know how I'm feeling right now, because there is only one right answer on how to feel, and that is so crazy. I had no idea. I did not think about this. I need to put a throwing up and screaming tab. Oh my gosh. I wish I could talk to you guys about so much more than what I actually can, because obviously I don't want to spoil anything, but there's just so much that like is happening with this one character that you meet in this book. Like, I understand them, I understand where they're coming from, but I hate them. And it's just so bad because they did nothing wrong technically. Although I feel like they are lying about stuff. Like, I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. I forgot how irritating the Magnolia Parks universe really is. And not because of the characters, like I love the characters even though they do really stupid and dumb things. When you think things are gonna be resolved, you think, oh, things are gonna be talked about, they're gonna talk about it, something else happens that makes one of them do something stupid. I will be completely honest though, I miss Daisy. I miss Julian. Like, I miss the whole group of them. Even though I love BJ, I love Magnolia, I just miss Daisy in the other group. I feel personally attacked, BJ. I feel personally freaking attacked. Okay, so listen to this, right? A bed she gets into without showering because she's normal. Excuse me, that is not... Just be... Showering before bed is normal too. Like, people just don't like germs in their bed. I cannot fathom getting into my bed with outside clothes on. Like, I have to shower, I have to change. I feel so attacked. I read that and I was like, I know you're not talking about me, but why does it feel like you're talking about me?
I let you know when to let go. You give a little love with a little sun. Everywhere you go, everywhere you're running. You never say a word, even when it hurts. Everywhere you go, everywhere you're smiling.
See, this book is giving me trust issues, man. Oh my god. Okay, I'm not gonna say what happened, but for the girlies that know, page 235. Page 235. Too good to be true. I have trust issues. I don't believe. Got me goofy smiling.
The moment you leave, it goes blank in my head. Feels like my bed is on fire when I'm sleeping.
Magnolia, why? Why?
So hold my hand tight for a minute. I'll let you know when to let go.
Every time. Why am I even surprised at this point? Oh, please. Please leave him out of this. Dear God, please leave him out of this. I need a break.
I don't understand how you can love me the way that I...
Quick update on the book. I just got to part 2 and it's page 255. Yeah, 255. I think one of my, if not my favorite, one of my favorite characters is about to get involved in the story, and I really don't want them getting involved. I don't even know what to say anymore. Honestly, this book, I don't know why it still surprises me how much pain it puts me through. I don't know why it still surprises me. At this point, I know not to trust this book at all. I know when a good part is happening, I know that it won't last very long and I don't get my hopes up, so there's that. But I still somehow get my hopes up and think, oh, maybe it's different this time, but it's never different. The universe in general, I still love BJ and Magnolia as characters, but I think a book that is able to bring out those emotions deserve a 5-star. Books that make me feel so much emotions other than happiness too is just very telling. Like, look at that. I'm halfway through the book. Look at the tabs. I think Jessa Hastings done a really good job building this world, and her quotes in this are actually insane. I don't even know how to best describe it. Like, lyrical, but I think the found family and the friendships are a lot more heartwarming.
Spirit goes up as the rain falls down. I've been sailing on the wrong course, keeping it together like I did before. Think that I've said this a few times. Even with that, has it ever felt right? I swear that this has happened every moment. Can I just be honest? I was only wondering, and maybe we could take it to a different conversation.
I won't say anything, but I'm not smiling because of BJ or Magnolia. That's all I'm saying.
But you'd rather take it all back. Although you are sunlight, you stay in the shade. I'm dancing in a corner just to get a space, cause I wanna believe
Bridget
that.
is so smart.
Ooh, I get lost. You go with your
Bridget says everything that I want to say. Okay, I don't think I've done enough updates. I don't know how many updates I've given you guys throughout this whole reading vlog, but I'm on the page 374, and this book is a little bit over 500 pages. I'm really, like, irritated and sad. So those are the main feelings you get from this book, is irritation and sad. You remember that character I said that they didn't do anything wrong, but I hate them? Well, I hate them even more because they did do something wrong. They've done so many things wrong, and it's so irritating. It makes me so mad to read about. I just can't I cannot get over why we still keep them around. Why are they still around? Not a good person. It makes me so mad. But other than that, yeah, it's also really sad. You find out a lot of new things about BJ and Magnolia, a lot of sad things, and it really builds on why they are how they are. People act the way they act because of trauma and how they were raised and all of that, and like we know already. I'm gonna say this because I'm assuming you guys have read the first 2 books if you're watching this video, so we know that Magnolia's parents aren't very active and very parental, I guess, in a way that they never showed her that much attention when she was a kid. Even now, they just didn't really show her attention. So she has a lot of abandonment issues and trauma, so I feel like there's a lot of mental stuff going around in this book. It's a lot, but it makes so much sense when you realize what they've gone through, why they act the way they act, and it makes so much sense. It never made sense in the first book. The first book just felt toxic, but this one, everything is coming together. I think the reason why I'm also feeling this way is because I recently listened to a podcast with Jessa Hastings, and she was on a podcast. I think it's called I Love You So Much. I have it on my phone. Let me show you. Okay, so the podcast is called I Love You So Much by Kenzie Elizabeth. It's just them talking about Magnolia Parks and just answering some questions that readers have about the universe. Jessa went into saying that she didn't write these books to be about toxic relationships. She wouldn't describe them as toxic. Originally, I did describe this series as toxic because it's just how it felt. And it feels really toxic if you don't understand the background of the relationship and who Magnolia and BJ are. But once you understand, it makes a lot of sense that Jessa is saying that these books are about 2 really hurt people and really mentally unstable people to be in a relationship, and they need to work on themselves before they can be in a fully, like, a proper relationship, but they're not doing that just yet. And I think the story and the universe is more so about how people grow and have character development just how you do in real life. I don't know. I think Jessa explained it so much more beautifully, which is not surprising because she wrote the books and she does an amazing job of making the book really poetic and stuff. So definitely go watch that. I think it gives you a lot of insight on the characters and the world. It really changed my mindset because it just makes so much more sense, and it makes you less angry and just more sad and hopeful that they're gonna work things out personally, like with them themselves first before they can become a couple. Because you know what, like, no matter how much we want as readers for them to be in a relationship, we know that it's really toxic and it's not gonna work out if they get together now. So having that journey of fixing yourself, I guess, just healing, that's the better word, healing yourself before committing to that relationship is like a beautiful way of writing this story.
For you in Paris, the lights were too bright.
Delusional, but it's okay, girl, because I love him too.
You looked for me in New York, couldn't see through the smoke.
Don't say that. Don't say that. That's just gonna fuck him up. That's cute, but also really freaking sad.
First time a reason to run away, and I know you feel the same. Moonlight over oceans.
I have my suspicions on what the heck just happened, because I feel like it's too coincidental. Oh, I feel sus.
All the people, all the fire, and it's warm in the dark. The silence won't call our name. Moonlight over ocean. Let's meet on the other
What? What?
float together like water. We collide like a star. has got us this far.
Wait. I'm all giddy. I'm all giddy, but is this the right choice? I like how this is the reason I'm using my last tab for throwing up and screaming. That's so funny. I'm getting really... See, this book has given me trust issues, guys. I want to be happy. I really do. They're so cute. Don't ruin it for me. Do not ruin this for me. Book.
Staring at stars, watching the moon, hoping that one day they'll lead me to you. Wait every night, 'cause if a star falls, I wish to go back to the times that I loved. Why do the stars shine so bright in the sky? Most of the people are sleeping at night. Why do we only have one chance at life? I wish I could go back in time.
I cannot even begin saying any words that would be good enough to explain the emotions that I have gone through reading this book. It is too simple and too mundane to just say that I was sad or happy or mad. I just had such visceral reactions and emotions towards this book. I've read a lot of books, and that is not to like brag. That's not a brag at all. But I've read enough books to enjoy them and be shocked at cliffhangers and just love characters. I keep trying to think back on a book that has made me feel such real emotions for fake characters. And this cliffhanger, this is so dramatic of me to say. Like, honestly, it's so dramatic, but this cliffhanger is gonna put me in a depressive state. My mental state, my anxiety, my depression is not cut out for this. It is absolutely not cut out for this, and I keep trying to remind myself that these are not real people, and what just happened at the end of this book didn't actually happen to a real person. So, I applaud you, Jessa Hastings, if you're watching this. You're probably not, but if by chance that you are watching this, I truly applaud your writing. I have never read a book, simply put it, there is no plot in her books, and that is not a dig at her. That is not a negative point. That is just my way of explaining, like, she doesn't have plot in her story, but the Magnolia Parks universe is one of the most beautifully written stories that I have had the pleasure of reading. And if you really take the time to dig a little bit deeper into the character development and just wonder why these characters act the way they act, honestly, it is such a beautifully written, like, poetic, lyrical, any word that can describe just a heart-wrenching and breathtaking universe. It's actually just mind-boggling. Like, I've grown so attached to these characters. They make you kind of feel like you guys are best friends, and you know how sometimes your friends do the dumbest stuff? Like, your best friend. Think of your best friend. They could do the dumbest thing. Dumbest. It makes you so mad, and you're like, what are you doing? But that doesn't make you love them any less. That's how I feel about these characters. Like, you read through their actions and their POVs, and you're like, this is so bad, but I still love them so much because at the end of the day, Magnolia Parks and BJ Valentine are two very, very traumatized, hurt people that have gone through life really codependent on one another, and the found family in this is so beautiful. And I'm gonna beat a dead horse at this point, but if you really dig deeper and you listen to that podcast I mentioned earlier in this vlog, you really see what Jessa Hastings is talking about. Like, these characters, they don't just wake up and act like this out of nowhere. You know, they don't make these decisions because suddenly they just want to one day. They make them and they know that they're bad decisions and they know that they're mistakes, but they can't help it because that's just how their brain is wired from the way that they grew up and what life has dealt them. It is without a doubt that I am going to be rating Magnolia Parks The Long Way Home a 5-star. Honestly, this would be one of my 6-star reads. This is gonna go into a shrine of mine where I'm constantly gonna be thinking about these characters. The more you read, and especially in this book, you learn so much about them. You learn how they're trauma bonded, how they are so perfect for each other, just not at the moment, before they heal, you know, before they kind of work through their individual problems. Guys, this cliffhanger was such left field. I did not see it coming, obviously. There were no indications, and I was utterly heartbroken. I can't say too much because I don't want to give away, I don't want to spoil anything, but just know I laid there face down for quite a bit. A good bit of time just taking that in because I could not believe that was actually happening. And I think what makes me so much more upset is the fact that I can't pick up a book and read what happens, because the next book is Daisy's book, which I'm excited for because I'm curious what's going on, because at the end of this one you kind of get a glimpse of something happening and like a sneak peek of things going down. So I'm excited to read her book. I miss Daisy. I love her as a character, but this cliffhanger, I would skip Daisy's book just to go and figure out what's happening. At this point, I am so attached to this universe. You remember when I told you I didn't really like the new covers that were being released? Yeah, well, I'm gonna be going to a Jennifer Lynn Barnes book signing in like 2 days. I think I'm gonna pick up those versions of Magnolia Parks and Daisy Hates. Now suddenly those covers are so beautiful. Because I love the series so much, suddenly I'm like, ah, those covers, slay. Other than that, I really thoroughly enjoy this book, even though it put me through a lot. And that is just to show the type of author Jessa Hastings is. She is incredible, and I had a blast, and also not a blast, reading this book. But I think I'm gonna have to sit on this for a while and just cope about having real emotions for fictional characters. But I hope you guys enjoy this video, and yeah, I'm gonna go cry a little bit. Bye!